Finally, Maurice Kamto might be a candidate for the 2025 presidential election this October. The National Citizen Movement maybe would endorse Professor Maurice Kamto as their presidential candidate. And this party, the National Citizen Movement, is having an elected representative. And this is a good news to Maurice Kamto. As we were telling Maurice Kamto that there is no way legally, constitutionally, that he can run for the 2025 presidential election under his party. And he was insisting that the government should know that he is a lawyer, or this one, or this one. There is no place in the constitution that says that Maurice Kamto or any other political party can run election without or contradicting the electoral code. So Maurice Kamto finally discovered that there is no way he can run under his party. And if finally this party will endorse Maurice Kamto, that will be the good news for him and for many Cameroonians supporting him. But the whole issue is for us to learn a lesson here that there is nobody who is above the law. When something is so critical and you have made a mistake, the only thing to do is to correct that legally and genuinely without any violence. But Maurice Kamto was saying that go up or come down, he will run under his party. But now we are seeing it clear that there is no way. And then I was not saying it because I am against Professor Maurice Kamto. I'm one of those who strongly stand for change in Cameroon. And Maurice Kamto being the most popular political party now in Cameroon, that is the only means through which we can have that change. And it was just for him to maybe acknowledge that he committed a mistake in 2020 by refusing his party not to run for a municipal and parliamentary election. But now for him to force himself through intimidation, through threatening the government, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this, we will go out and fight for it. No. Now he is doing the right thing. And the other thing is he should keep on doing everything possible so that the national citizen movement should accept him and put it in front as a presidential candidate. And that will be all. So Maurice Kamto running for presidential election is not 100% guaranteed that he will be president of Cameroon. I have told you people that the CBD has corrupted corruption, and for you to understand the kind of strategy they are putting in place, you need to reason above. But I've not seen any opposition party doing the things that they're supposed to do in order to remove President Paul Biya from power, or the CPD. Because these people, they have one strategy, and that strategy is the strategy of intimidation, strategy of blackmailing, a strategy of corrupting the youth. And this strategy goes right into the heart and the interior of Cameroon, in which all these interior places, the opposition, they are not there. They remain within the city, and the citizen is aware of this. They don't concentrate in the city. They do the corruption, the electoral fraud in the villages where the oppositions are not so much having influence. And this is something that if the opposition start now going into all villages, making their influence strong in all these villages, it will destabilize the strategy of the CPD a little bit. But who am I to? When you talk, people will ask you, who are you? When I told Professor Maurice Kamto that legally you cannot run, constitutionally you cannot run, and then now it is at the tail end, when we are left with at least 4 months or 3 months to the end, that he is coming up and trying to get to other opposition parties to run under their party. We cannot, and there is no way the government fighting Maurice Kamto, if that could have happened, the government could have been right. Because legally, the government is right because the electoral code says so. And Maurice Kamto also says in 2020 that they can never run under any election again without the electoral code being changed. Now I'm asking him that he's begging for a place in other opposition party to run for presidential election. Has the opposition electoral code changed? No. Has the Anglophone crisis ended? No. Because these are the two things he mentioned, that if the electoral code, if they don't change the electoral code, if they don't end the Anglophone crisis, his party will not run. And then now that it is his own interest, he wants to do it.